This video is going to be how to download and use the Overdrive app on an iPad. So you have to get the app first. So tap the App Store, tap Search, and search for Overdrive. And there's the result. Just tap it. And your button might say install or get or something else, but because I've already installed once on this, I have a little arrow coming out of the cloud. So I'm going to tap that, and it will download. And once it's downloaded, tap Open. And you already have an account because you have a library card. So tap Sign In. Tap Sign In using library card. And then tap the location circle, and then back to enter a library name to tap the zip code because it's a lot easier to type. Tap Go. And then scroll down and find Wilmington for whatever reason it's not first. Tap the results. And then because you can borrow books from other consortiums, whichever, you need to tell Overdrive which one you belong to. So tap the down arrow, tap Merrimack Valley, and then tap under the card number and type the card number in. And tap Sign In. And now you're signed into the app. So what we need to do is add a library to the app. So tap where it says add a library, and you have to do it again. So tap Search, type in the zip code, tap Search. And this one I think is all alphabetical, so swipe all the way down to the W's. And where's Wilmington? There it is. Tap Wilmington, tap where it says Merrimack Valley. And so now what you need to do is you need to sign into the Overdrive collection. So tap Sign In. And again, you got to select Merrimack Valley from this drop-down. Tap card number and type in your card number again. Tap Sign In. And so now you're ready to go. You don't have to sign in every time you use it. You just have to sign in to get started. And so if you find, so you can see everything's color-coded. And so these first ones are magazines, and that would work because I am on an iPad, which has a pretty good display. But usually what people are using it for is audiobooks or ebooks. This home page is constantly changing the types and titles of books that it has promoted. So don't get used to finding the same books here. One thing you can notice is at the bottom here, there will be an icon that tells you what type of item it is. So the Neil deGrasse Tyson is an audiobook, the Lost Key is an ebook. When you find something you want to borrow, you can you can tap the borrow at the bottom, or you can tap the cover to go into the details view to see the more details. So if you're not sure you want to read it, you can read the description, or listen to it in this case, you can read the description. If you wanna save it for later, you can tap Add to Wish List, and what that will mean is instead of searching for it again, it will be on your wish list. You can add 5,000 titles, and I will get into holds in a moment. But let's just say I want to borrow this one. I go ahead and tap Borrow, and then tap Borrow again. And then you want to download the MP3 audiobook, and so this is going to download just to this device in this app. And so I tap Download. It's going to add the title to my bookshelf. You can see the 4 up on the top left says that it's downloading the 4 parts of the book. It splits audiobooks into different files to speed the download. And so if you tap those 3 bars, what you'll see is how you toggle back and forth between your bookshelf and getting new books to put on your bookshelf. And so if I tap Bookshelf, I'll see that there it is. And so if I want to listen to it, you just tap the cover again.
Blackstone Audio presents Astrophysics.
Pause so it doesn't start talking. The little moon here is your sleep, so if you want to listen to it but you don't want it to continue when you fall asleep, you can set a timer. This odometer is the speed, so sometimes people like to listen to it quickly, more quickly than real time, so you can do that. You can fast forward or fast forward and rewind 15 seconds by those buttons. The arrows with the lines or the chapters. You can go back and forth between the chapters. So when you're done, you don't have to worry about placing a bookmark. It's going to remember where you are. So to get out of the book, you tap the 3 bars in the top left. And then if I wanted to borrow another book, I can tap where it says Merrimack Valley, and it'll take me to Merrimack Valley. And so what I'll do is I'll scroll down and I'll find an ebook to borrow. And so I tap borrow here, and then borrow. And then you want to actually tap download EPUB book, because this is not a Kindle. So you tap that. Again, it's adding it to the bookshelf. So if I tap 3 bars, go to bookshelf, and then tap the cover. And then to read, you swipe. You swipe to the left, from the right to the left to turn the page, or left or to the right to turn back. To get out of it, you can see there's no menu option. So you tap the center of the screen and this menu comes up. You can tap the AA to change the font size. It doesn't give you a great font size changing. It gives you 2 options, that's about it. You can change the font style as well if you like. You tap the gear. You can do the spacing, so you can have it wider spaced, thinner spaced, the margins. You can adjust all that kind of stuff there with the gear. So when you're done adjusting, you just tap outside of it. This circle is the progress, so you can actually just kind of, I guess, fast forward the book that far. So when you're done, if this is up, you want to tap the 3 bars to get back. And so you can go back to the bookshelf to see the both of them. Or you can go ahead and tap the bars and tap Merrimack Valley. And so you can search for a book while you're here by tapping the magnifying glass and typing an author or a title or whatnot and tap search. And so what I want to show you here is this is usually what happens when you're searching for a specific author or title. There's a lot that is on the wait list, and so you want to add as much to your wish list as you can, because it can be difficult to find something to read that you like, because the availability isn't the greatest. So if I wanted to place a hold on Sleeping Beauties here, you tap place a hold at the bottom. And then the first time you place a hold in the app, you have to specify the email address that you want to get notified that the book is ready for you. Yes, typing is difficult sometimes. So just confirm it. And then tap place hold. And so this is going to say these books are like it if you want to read one of those now while you're waiting. I'm just going to tap the X in the top right. So I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to tap the 3 books to the left of my account, and that's going to take me to my loans. And so this is good to know, because this tells you when the books are set to expire. There's no renewing if there's a hold on it. There's no being late, because once those 21 days are up, it's going to automatically remove it. You see that I can borrow 3 more titles. That means I can borrow 5 titles at a time. If I get to the 5 and I finished all the 5, I can tap return, and I can return it early and free up one of those spots. So return title, and now you can see I have 4. But if I tap hold, you can see that here's the hold. And so you can place 10 holds at a time. And that's where it comes in. The wish list comes in handy, because you may have placed 10 holds. Be careful if you do that too much, because you only have 72 hours after you get the email to check it out. And like I said, you cannot renew or be late with the books. So sometimes you have too much come in at once. So having the wish list, so if I tap the wish list here, you'll see that the book that I added to the wish list. And so from here, if this was on a hold, or if I wanted to place a hold, it would say place hold right there. And you can see I have 5,000, so I have plenty of space there. So one last thing I will show you is that you have access to every library in Massachusetts' digital collection. And so that's where the partner libraries come in. But what you want to do is you want to actually add these libraries to your app to make it easier to search across them. And when you are searching for a book and you find like Merrimack Valley doesn't have a book, and you want to search Boston, it's not going to carry that search over. You're going to have to search again. And so you can see I hit the 3 bars and I tapped add a library, And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to see what comes up when they search for Boston. I guess it doesn't matter which Boston library you pick because they're all part of the same consortium. Well, I don't think the colleges are. So I'm just going to type Adam Street because I know that's Boston. There we go. So tap Boston. And you want to sign in. And remember that you need to say that you are a Merrimack Valley patron. So tap select my library. And now I have to scroll down a bit to find Merrimack Valley patrons. And tap card number, and then type in that card number. And tap sign in. And there I am. And so now if I tap 3 bars in the top left, you can see that I have, give it a second, it's a little sluggish. I have 2 libraries, I have Boston and Merrimack Valley listed. And so if I wanted to borrow a book from Boston, I would tap Boston. And then what I'm going to do is show you that they're all they're all downloaded at the same location when it decides to load. And so if I go ahead and tap borrow, and then you can see here, Boston only allows you 14 days, so that's something to keep an eye on. So tap borrow again, and download Mp3 Audiobook, and then tap the 3 bars and go to, well, let's go to files first. So this is, you can monitor the downloads. So sometimes what happens is a part doesn't download and you get to that part of the book and it doesn't play. So you would want to go into this file location in order to re-download it. But you do listen to it in the bookshelf. And so now if I just go ahead and tap that, you'll see that you can say it's not downloaded, right? And so this is where it would be go to the downloads. But once it downloads, this is where I would go. So it doesn't matter which library I have. Oh, this is an update, so it does say when the expiration is, so that's good. But it doesn't matter what library consortium I'm borrowing from, it's all in this bookshelf. And so that is it. If you have any questions, you can comment below. Thanks.